shown many interest in the question papers. One or two questions, up to 4 questions also expected from implants in the recent times. The number of questions coming in this chapter has been increased drastically. Okay, we will be discussing the general aspect of implants and material aspect majorly, plus the general characteristic also I will cover so that you are able to answer the prominent questions which have been coming in the recent times. Okay, let us start with the basic. Implant, you all know, is the best prosthetic replacement. Best way of replacement of your missing teeth. Okay, if you have a missing tooth or a missing teeth, the best way to replace as per your prosthetic book is your dental implant. This question also came like a long back. You have a missing maxillary canine, which will be the best prosthesis. FPD, cast partial, acrylic partial denture, or an implant. Answer is implant for sure. Implants, we have many classifications, so let's go through them based on the material being used. For fabrication, we have titanium and titanium alloys. Then we had used gold, we had used ceramics, polymers, carbon. Okay, many things have been tried in the past basically for the fabrication of implants. The best one becomes titanium alloys, which have got the highest biocompatibility amongst all the materials used so far for making implants. Amongst titanium alloys, there is one alloy called Ti6Al4V. This is the formula being used for the alloys. This is the generic formula. The question comes, this is the most nowadays being used a lot, and the question comes on certain aspect of it, like this has got alpha stabilizers for titanium and this has got beta stabilizers. Okay, question comes, what are alpha stabilizers in this alloy Ti6Al4V and what are beta stabilizers? Alpha stabilizer, easy to remember, is aluminium. Alpha starts from Al, aluminium starts from Al. This is your alpha stabilizer. This has been asked 2-3 times. Beta stabilizer is your vanadium and other metals like molybdenum, manganese, even might be copper might also be present. All these are beta stabilizers. Important thing to be understand is these are the stabilizers for titanium. Okay, so never mark titanium in beta stabilizers or alpha stabilizers. Okay, just remember this. Then we have a classification based on the time of placement. We have immediate implant, delayed implant, time of placement. We define the edentulous site. Okay, delayed site, delayed early site, or an let's extract a tooth, and the immediate is when you extract a tooth and you place an implant. Delayed is when you extract a tooth and the extraction socket heals completely. The extraction socket is filled entirely by the basal bone. We say there is no radiographic evidence of extraction. That is, there is no lamina dura on radiograph. There is no lamina dura on radiograph. This is time like greater than 6 months. This time is greater than 6 months, which takes like 6 months the body takes for the implant socket, extraction socket to completely fill with the bone. Okay. Delayed early is a situation in between the two, like when you extract a tooth, okay, when you extract a tooth, first thing which happens is soft tissue closure, then the socket starts getting filled up with the bone. So a time in between these two, when there is a complete soft tissue closure and the socket bone is still not filled with, the socket is not filled up with the basal bone. This is the time when you place an implant, and it is called delayed early placement, or that edentulous site is called delayed early site. This is the time between 6 weeks to 6 months. 6 weeks is the time for your soft tissue closure, 6 months is for bone formation. If you choose your implant placement between these two scenarios, then it is called as delayed early placement. Okay. Then based on the shape, based on the placement, based on the location of placement, we have end osseous, transosseous, or submucosal, also called as subperiosteal. Okay. Endo means inside, osseous means bone. If your implant is completely inside the bone, it is endosseous. This is the most readily used implant. We use it for single missing tooth replacement. For single missing tooth replacement, you are going to use endosseous. Basically, the implant which you all understand is endosseous, the implant which goes completely inside the bone. Trans means through and through, osseous means again bone. Say suppose if your implant is going like this, through and through the mandible, it is encompassing the entire mandible, it is covering the entire mandible. It is like a framework which runs from the upper border to the lower border of the mandible and circling it. This will be called as transosseous. Sub means below, periosteum means periosteum, or mucosa means mucosa. If suppose I have an edentulous ridge, completely edentulous ridge, I reflect the flap and I place my framework of implant onto the alveolar ridge beneath the periosteum. Above the ridge, beneath the periosteum, it will be subperiosteal. Okay, it's again a framework sort of an implant. These two categories are not used for single missing tooth replacement. They are basically replacing the entire jaw, like if completely edentulous cases we have. And these two are majorly used for research purposes or are outdated as on today, you can say. Okay, endosseous is the most readily used category of implants in dentistry nowadays. Then in endosseous, we have root form implants, that is resembling your root. Either it can be cylindrical or it can be tapered, resembling the root of a tooth. Or you have blade form implants. You have blade form implants. Okay. These are the two major categories of endosseous: root form, blade form. Okay. Root form will have then further categories. This is the most preferred one for single missing tooth replacement, which we use very oftenly. Then based on the surface characteristics of root form, we have either your surface can be plain, it can be threaded or machined. You say it will have thread like this. Okay, like a screw, it will have threads. or it can be coated. Coated can be with hydroxyapatite, or it can be plasma sprayed. And now we have laser formed implants also. Laser formed, like the entire implant is made via laser. One brand name you can note down, that is Tixos, is the world's first laser formed implants. That is a brand name commonly available in India also. It is a worldwide popular implant. Just remember the brand name for laser implant. Most commonly we are using threaded. Okay, even we have etched. Micro etching is done. Okay, we are using for single missing tooth replacement. Basically, what we are using is end osseous. We are using root form. We are using threaded. Then it can be coated, or it can be etched, or it can be both nowadays. Okay, these are considered as the preferred form of implants to be used for single missing tooth replacement. Now let us see the basic parameter, what exactly happens when we, if suppose this is my 4, 7, 8, 5 and 6 are missing. Okay, I want to place an implant, and this is definitely a delayed placement because there is no radiographic sign of mandible seen here, radiographic sign of extraction seen in the mandible. This part of the bone and this part of the bone is densely radio opaque because this is the cortical part. See, anywhere in body we have cortical bone outside and we have cancellous bone inside. Okay, cortical is providing you the anchorage, the skeletal framework, the actual robust framework of bone. Cortical is dense mineralized bone and it is providing anchorage. Cancellous is a porous bone which is providing nutrients because it has got an immense blood supply. The term Haversian canal system, this you all read in histology also. Haversian canal system, then connecting to Haversian is your Volkmann's canal and all that. Or in the terms of Indrabir Singh, cancellous blood supply is whole blood flowing into the marrow spaces. This is a trabecular bone. Okay, you have got trabeculae present in it. So this is the basic outline of the bone which we are going to deal, and we have to cut this bone to place my implant. Okay, so whenever I plan to cut a bone, I have to take few things into consideration. That the speed of cutting has to be taken care of. There is torque associated with a rotating drill. Anything which rotates generates a torque. Okay, torque is nothing but a resistance against the forward motion when something is rotating. Anything which rotates has a tendency to move forward unnecessarily. So to hold that forward movement, we have to give, we have the torque word comes into play. That is the resistance to hold that thing to move forward is your torque basically. Okay. Then while drilling bone, so that the bone does not get heated up and get necrosed, you need to have an irrigation system. Why I am telling you all this is because this is related to an equipment called physio dispenser. This is the equipment used for drilling of the bone. The drilling of the bone is called osteotomy. Okay, and it is done by using the equipment called physio dispenser. This term was once asked in a state PG entrance long back. Okay, physio dispenser has got speed control. Average speed of osteotomy for implants is 800 to 1200 RPM only. Okay, then torque control is there. Ideal is it's 35 to 45 Newton centimeter. Okay, Newton centimeter is the unit for torque. At this torque you should be cutting the bone. Speed of implant placement 20 to 25 RPM only. This is the speed. Once you have cut the bone and you want to place your implant inside the socket which you have created, that speed of placement should be 20 to 25 RPM. Okay. Then that speed of placement should be 20 to 25 RPM. Okay. Then is something called as irrigation. When we cut a tooth, okay, when we cut a tooth, you all know you come across enamel dentine and pulp.